Every YouTube video starts with a sip of coffee. Alright guys, I have been professionally procrastinating on making this video for probably 2 years, which is great because it means I've got 2 years more experience that I can share with you. And here are 7 actually useful, encouraging tips for freelancers who are just starting out. Tip number 1 is go all in. I see a lot of people in forums when they're starting out, maybe in design or video editing forums, saying, I'm thinking about this, maybe I should post this. You haven't really got a choice when you start. You need to get maximum exposure for your work. So you have to make the commitment when you're going to try freelancing to go all in. Every day that you don't have content out there, that you're planning and thinking about it, nobody can find you, nobody can see you. So you have to go all in. If you are planning too much or waiting until everything is perfect, until you've got the perfect video or till your skills are good enough, well, I've got news for you. You're always going to want to get better. So you can't just keep waiting around until everything is perfect before you make your first post or anything like that. So you need to make the commitment. Whether you're going to make a YouTube channel, be a designer or a freelancer, you need to make the commitment to go all in. You're going to post on every platform, you're going to get maximum exposure, and you're not going to look back. I post and I never look back. I don't delete posts. I don't get involved in like Facebook, opinion-based stuff on politics and things like that. So I just stay on my path, I post, and I move on. Okay, so you really have to adopt that mindset that you're all in. There's a bird tweeting outside and I don't want to shut the door because I actually think it's quite nice and it could be quite nice ambience for this video, even if I only get 10 views. Okay, so tip number 1, go all in. Put yourself out there, don't be afraid. You have to go all in, you have to post on every platform that you can at the start to get maximum exposure so that people will find you and contact you for whatever service it is that you're providing. Tip number 2 is optimize your friend circle and your social media network. So what I mean by this is when you start out, unfortunately, not everybody is going to want to see you succeed. And that is just one of the facts of life. There are people who probably in your circle who, when you're starting out, it might shock you to find that they're not as supportive as you think. And this is because of a term which you'll probably hear a lot as a freelancer. It's crabs in a bucket, right? So when a bunch of crabs are in a bucket, if one tries to escape, the others are going to pull them back down. I don't want you to be afraid of this. I don't want it to stop you posting, but just be aware you need 100% focus and as minimal distraction, as little negativity as you can. If you're following people, first of all, I block my newsfeed. I don't even have a newsfeed on my computer and I don't have Facebook on my phone, but I do use it for business. So my newsfeed now it's optimized. Now I follow entrepreneurs and video editors and creative things, and I don't follow people who just moan and complain and people who I grew up around that no longer serve me or my purpose. I just politely unfollow or remove them so I don't see it in my newsfeed. And when I used to DJ and I used to be around clubs and drinks and things like that, I stopped doing that. I started jiu-jitsu, and now I go and meet up with friends who have grown up and who are on an entrepreneurial journey as well. They say that you are basically the product of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So if your newsfeed is full of negative stuff, people just moaning about low-level things, you want to think higher than that. You need to elevate yourself to that position where you are an entrepreneur, you're going for it. And if people don't like it, you have to leave them behind. If you want success, there's people that won't want you success. You just politely remove, ignore, move on. If they make a comment, block them if you want, or just ignore it, even better. If they make a comment on one of your posts, something you don't really like, don't worry, by the way, this doesn't happen all the time, but you're going to, at some point, you're going to have to thicken your skin. You're going to have to take feedback. So make sure your newsfeed is full of opportunities and positivity, not negativity, and make sure you're hanging around with people who appreciate what you're doing and encourage you on your journey. Tip number 3 is financially, I want you to think long term, okay? So you could go out, you post a video, someone buys a video for $100, you make it in like 3 hours, you're like, I just made $30 an hour, great. You go and buy a pair of trainers. That is going to leave you broke. What you need to do is all that money, every penny of that money that you get back, you want to look for how that money can make you more money. That's just the simple basics of investing. I'm not saying go invest in in stocks and things like that. Definitely not with $100, but books, courses, coaches. I'm not a coach. I'm not trying to sell you coaching. Books, courses, coaching, things that are going to level you up and that are going to help you make more money in the long term. You definitely want to go and invest in that kind of thing rather than spending that first $100 that you make. So tip number 3, you're thinking long term financially. You don't want to be batting around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. You should be thinking $10,000 a month. That's the first benchmark. And when you think that big, you'll start doing things that are going to make you get there. Whereas if you're only aiming for $100 on the side to buy yourself one night out a month, then that's kind of the mentality you'll have, and that is the money you'll make. So it really is about aiming for that higher ticket, taking the money, using it however you need to invest in skills and knowledge and coaching that's going to help you get better. There's a book, I'll leave a link in the description, called The Magic of Thinking Big. Hang on, I'll get it. The Magic of Thinking Big. This book is really going to give you some examples of how to think big and how high achievers think. And it's usually just they go for it. They take the chance. They take the shot. A lot of people just have a limited mindset and don't go for it. So yeah, there's just a little segue. The Magic of Thinking Big is a really good book. While I'm making this video, I realize that it's not perfect. So I'm going to throw in a little bonus tip now. Take imperfect action. This is the biggest tip of all the tips. I can't believe that I've only just discovered it now that I feel like my video isn't going well. Obviously, I'm going to edit it up after, and when you're watching, it's all going to be nice, and you probably think it's good. But to me, I feel like this isn't perfect. The set's not quite right. When I was practicing making this video, I said a few things better, but it's imperfect action over procrastination. Basically, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to know that people are going to get value from the video. So, massive action over perfection, or take imperfect action, however you like to look at it. Basically, do your work to the best of your ability, but put it out there. Stop trying to make everything perfect. And like I said before, post and just move on. Whatever you're doing, post, upload, move on. Massive imperfect action. Bonus tip for you. Tip number 4 is learn one high value skill. So there's 2 parts to this. At the start, you're not going to have the money to hire designers, to hire editors, to hire website builders, or anything like that. So you're going to have to do all these things yourself, okay? And you have to just learn. And I'm going to tell you why this is great in the next tip, the compound effect. But first, when you find what works, say video editing works for you, or say designing websites works for you, master that one skill, one high value skill for 6 to 12 months, and you can make $5,000 a month. When you master the one skill, you will be seen as the go-to person, and when someone has that particular problem, they only want the specialist, right? So you've got 2 kinds of people. The first kind of person just does everything. I'll make you a Wix website, Shopify landing page, design, copywriting, ads, everything. That guy is split his focus or her focus. Now there's another person who it just says, I make converting Shopify websites for e-commerce brands. Now that person, if you're an e-commerce brand owner, that's the person you want to make your website, right? So learn one high value skill for 6 to 12 months and you could be making $5,000. Quick segue, obviously I don't get paid to make these videos. I'm just putting this value out there, but while I have it in mind, I have a Skillshare course called Create the Perfect Fiverr Gig that actually sells, which is not just any old Fiverr Gig course. It's actually full of golden, just marketing knowledge that I've learned over 4 years. It's less than 3 hours. You fill out a document, filling in all the things that you're going to put in after each lesson for your Fiverr Gig, and then you can just go and copy and paste them into your gig. You can do this as many times as you like, and you don't have to just use it for Fiverr. You can use it for whatever you like. So you can take those skills, apply them to Facebook posts. It's all general marketing knowledge, but with examples and with actions for you to take. So if you want to get a free trial on Skillshare, I'll leave a link somewhere on the video so you can go and check out that course. But people are already getting results. One of my students created her first gig. She's got her first $100 in the bank. She can't believe that it's even happened because she's put off making the gig forever. And then I encouraged her. So if you are hesitant about making a Fiverr gig, or you just want to learn more from me, hit that link, go check out Skillshare, leave a free link somewhere. Anyway, back to the video. So number 5, understand the compound effect. Got another book, one sec. Okay, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Okay, so what I learned from this book, what I already knew, but this book clarified for me, just validated my thinking, is at the start, you might think, oh, I'm not sure if I want to be a video editor, so I won't edit this video. Oh, I don't know if I want to be a graphic designer, so I won't try and sell a graphic design. What you need to understand is the processes you follow by making a graphic design and posting it and selling it. Even if you don't want to be a graphic designer, there's little parts of those processes that will compound over time. They will build up. Imagine you put £1 into a bank account every day and it made a certain percent of interest every day. After 100 days, it's going to be worth way more than £100. I don't know depending on the interest rate. My point is the compound skills that you learn from posting, from messaging, from getting clients, making sales, building the websites will compound over time, so you will actually grow in knowledge. So even if it's not the thing that you want to do right now, the ideas from books start crossing over, and things that you do on websites might cross over with your copywriting. And as you learn your one skill and you niche down, a lot of these other marketing skills and copywriting skills and editing skills are just going to help you over time. So read, do courses, keep learning, learn for an hour a day. Something I do when I make video ads for clients is every video I'll try and find a tutorial that teaches me something new. I think what would make this extra special, so I'll add one element after doing a tutorial, because I know that over time, these tutorials, well, it kills two birds with one stone. Learn something new, but I also create something better for the client, which might get me better clients and will give me a better video, which means I can make more money. So there's a lot of compound effects in place when you get yourself 1% better in anything every day. So read, learn, even if it's not exactly what you want to do, trust the process. Sorry, there's flies flying around and they're driving me crazy. Understand the compound effect, and over time your skills will compound, and eventually your sales will skyrocket. They'll snowball as well. They'll compound from this knowledge and skill set you have, because you can help people in better ways. So number 6 is say yes to everything at the start. So basically, when you start out, you might hesitate about taking a project because you're not sure that if you can do it great, or maybe you're building a portfolio, waiting until you've got the skills to be able to take a client project. But let me just explain a paradox here. You're going to work for free building a portfolio, because if a client asks you for a video and you don't feel like you're ready, they may refund it. Okay? But in both scenarios, even if they refund it, that's the worst that can happen. They say, I don't like it, I want a refund. Boo-hoo. If they do that, you still got experience, like we said about the compound effect. You've said yes, you've got the sale, you've taken the payment, you've already learned, you're already growing, right? So when you've done that, then you get the chance to do an actual client project, which is experience. This is invaluable. Client communications, things like this. So this is the stuff that you want to be doing. You want to be saying yes to most things at the start. I'm not saying do things for free, and I'm not saying don't charge properly. I'm just saying say yes to more stuff than no at the start, even if you're hesitant about it. Worst case scenario, if they refund, you got loads of experience, but the refund rate is just so low. I've probably had like 2%, maybe even 1% refunds, or people wanting their money back from making videos. Because if you put in the effort and you do good work, you'll probably charge too little at the start anyway. The client's just going to let you off, say, yeah, that's great. They might not use it, but you get the experience. You have to be ruthless. You have to go for it and say yes to everything at the start. Build your skills, build your experience, build your portfolio. However, tip number 7, later on, you want to start saying no to more things than yes. Later on, when you're a specialist, when you have 10 options to choose from, you want to find the one that pays you 2,000 or 3,000 and not say yes to 5 things that pay you 500, because you'll be splitting your focus. You'll spend longer time working on more projects, juggling more lower ticket clients. You want to be asking the right questions, finding the clients that are a good fit for you, and then having less pressure and more time to make really, really good work, because that is going to elevate you to the next level. Every time you charge more, you set the bar higher. But if you set the bar higher, you need to create better quality work. And if you've got too many clients, then you won't have the time and you'll feel under pressure. So you won't be able to create that high enough quality work. So later on, when you're specializing, when you've got options, you charge more for less clients. So you say no to the little jobs that aren't serving you anymore, and you start saying yes to the bigger projects. Tip number 6, say yes to everything at the start, smash everything out there, do the work, get the experience, get the client communications, the messaging, the sales, and everything down. And then tip number 7, later on when you're a specialist and people are coming to you, you want to say no to more things, charge more, and do less clients. I've got 2 products that will really help you. I've got one course which is on Skillshare, free trial, create the perfect Fiverr gig that actually sells. I'll have you creating a Fiverr gig today, and people are already getting results. Like I said, Gamze created her first gig, she made $100, got her first review, everything like that. And then there's also another product, the 7-step social media client blueprint, where I walk you through 7 simple steps that I've used for 4 years to literally build a video ad business on referrals on Facebook, pretty much only. Facebook and Fiverr are all I used. I found what was working, I found systems to keep getting clients, and it kept working. And now I've got my own website and I get some leads through that. People doing outreach for me. At the start, you need maximum exposure, and I think for freelancers, the best value for buck, the best combo is the Fiverr gig course, which you can apply to all freelance websites, and then the social media blueprint, which you can apply to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and get clients there as well. So if you're a designer, if you do coding, whatever it is as a freelancer, those 2 courses, one, you get a free trial with Skillshare. The other one, I'll put a discount in the link. It's $97, but I'll make it $27 for you. Stupid value. Go get it. And finally, I'm just going to throw in a bonus point there, is to just trust the process, all right? So I know it sounds cliched, but some days, even now, even for me now, some days you have dry days where nothing's happening. You've put out all the good work and you're exhausted and you feel like you have to keep going. Some days just kick back, relax, trust that things are going to come back to you, and try and be present. You know, I know we're aiming for big goals and stuff, but like, don't let life slip away from you. Make time for your family and your friends. Do whatever you love doing. I love doing jiu-jitsu, seeing my mum, seeing my family, and things like that. So don't let all that slide. When you do work properly, work smart, work hard, of course, but make sure you're doing high leverage activities that build your business. But yeah, trust the process, get 1% better each day. You might not be where you're at now, but everyone started there. So the best thing I can recommend is get off this video, go and make a post, go and promote yourself, go and get the Fiverr course, go and get the 7-step social media blueprint. Put it in your calendar to do 2 hours tomorrow. That's going to help you succeed. You have to take action. I can help you. I can give you all the tips in the world. If you're watching tips videos on YouTube and you haven't got any clients, get those courses and go get some clients. Get off YouTube. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been putting this off for the longest time. It was a bit long, but I hope the information has been valuable. Let me know below any questions that you have about freelancing, but also comment any tips that you think can help each other as well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.